Hello and welcome to another video on this channel. Yesterday we saw a number of basics for those who just got selected in the diversity visa program. Today it is more of reality surrounding the diversity visa program that we are going to consider. There are a number of truths concerning the program that I would like to draw your attention to before the program even begins. So that is what we are going to discuss in today's video. Welcome as we go into that. Let's begin with comparisons between the ongoing program and your program. Some of you have been following the DV 2023 program and you are aware of the happenings in that program. Now, generally, you will have the impression that what is going on in the DV 2023 program is what will go on in your program DV 2024. But the truth is that that may not be the case. I have indicated in a number of recent videos that the State Department could apply a certain procedure or a certain number of procedures to one program, and then in the next program, those procedures could be changed. So what you observe in the DV 2023 program may not necessarily apply to your own program. That is one truth that you should be aware of. The next thing has to do with early submission of DS-260. The general impression out there is that you must submit your DS-260 very early in order for you to be interviewed. But that is not always the case. As the diversity visa program is currently being administered, you could submit your DS-260 very early, but by the end of the fiscal year or by the end of your program year, you are not scheduled for interview. That's another truth that you should be aware of. And still in line with the submission of DS-260, you may submit your DS-260 ahead of another case or other cases. But that is not a guarantee that you will be scheduled for interview or be interviewed before that case or those cases. You may well submit your DS-260 before other cases, but it is possible that those cases be scheduled for interview and subsequently interviewed before you. That is another reality concerning the diversity visa program as it is currently being administered. The next thing is that applicants are not always interviewed during the month that they are supposed to be interviewed in the current context of the diversity visa program. Now, I said in the video yesterday that your case number is the most important factor when it comes to when during the program or the fiscal year you are supposed to be interviewed. That is how the diversity visa program is designed to work. But in the current context of the diversity visa program, that may not apply during your program DV 2024. So you may look at your case number and have in mind that you are supposed to be interviewed during the month of December, for example. But because of other factors that now come into play in the current context of the diversity visa program, you may not be interviewed during that month of December. Your interview may be several months later, and it is even possible for you not to be interviewed at all in the current context of the diversity visa program. That's another reality that you must be aware of as a diversity visa 2024 selectee. Now, before we continue, let's take a little break and we'll be right back. Hi, I'm Rodney and thanks for watching this video. I have a diversity visa guidance program, so in case you are in need of guidance for your diversity visa application, click on the link in the description of this video, sign up and join my guidance program for a reasonable monthly subscription fee, and I will see you on the guidance platform. Welcome back. Another important thing I would like to draw your attention to is the issue of embassy performance. In the current context of the diversity visa program, interviews are not being scheduled at the same rate at all embassies. In other words, you may have an embassy where interviews are being scheduled at a lower case number range, whereas at another embassy, interviews are being scheduled at a much higher case number range. And in many cases, that allows applicants with higher case numbers to be scheduled for interview ahead of other applicants who have lower case numbers. That's another thing that you should be aware of in the current context of the diversity visa program. And that leads us to the next point. Case numbers in the same range do not necessarily have the same fate. Under normal circumstances, cases in the same case number range that have met the necessary requirements should all be scheduled for interview at the same time. That is how the diversity visa program is designed to work, as I said earlier. But in the current context of the diversity visa program, that is not happening in many cases. So you may have a case number close to other case numbers, but you see that you have not been scheduled for interview, whereas those other cases around your case numbers have been. That's a reality in the current context of the diversity visa program that you have to be aware of as well. And then to this hard truth, not everyone will be issued a diversity visa by the end of the fiscal year. Now, most of you or all of you are aware of this reality because it is expressed in your selection notification letter. And the reason for that is because the number of visas that are available is far less than the total number of entrants that were selected for those visas. You have 55,000 visas that should be issued out, but we can assume that those who were selected for those 55,000 visas are at least 2 times more than that number. And so because of that, the excess selectees will not receive diversity visas by the end of the 2024 program. And then our final truth in this video is that you could be one of those who will not receive a diversity visa by the end of the DV 2024 program. Now, this is not intended to discourage you. Continue your process, respect the rules, but these are realities that sometimes hit hard when applicants realize them later in the fiscal year or by the end of the program. So I prefer revealing them to you as soon as possible so that you can be prepared for any and all eventualities. It is because of these truths that the State Department advises you not to resign from your job, not to sell your home, not to make irreversible financial decisions, because you never know how things will play out in your program DV 2024. As I said earlier, not because this happened in a previous program or this is happening in the ongoing program, so that will happen at all costs in your program. Be prepared for any and all eventuality as you go into your diversity visa application process. These are a number of truths concerning your selection in the diversity visa program that you must be aware of. As I said, it is not meant to discourage you, but it is important that you be aware of these realities to be prepared for any eventuality. And that brings us to the end of this video. Thanks for watching it. I know it was a hard one for some of you, but I prefer sharing the truth with you than saying good news for diversity visa applicants. So that is it. I wish you the very best as you go about your application process. Goodbye.